Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you. Well, the UN is meanwhile warning that thousands of pregnant women in the Gaza Strip are in grave danger because they are not able to reach a medical facility to deliver their babies. Let's speak now live to Laila Baker, who is in Cairo. She's the United Nations Population Fund Arab States Regional Director. Laila, welcome to you. And I know you wanted to tell us specifically about the condition of these many thousands of pregnant women. What is the latest you're hearing from your partners on the ground in Gaza?
Good afternoon, and thank you for your question and caring enough about pregnant women who are in Gaza. At the moment, with the siege and the total collapse of the health system, the targeting of health facilities, including hospitals and medical personnel, we're very concerned about the 5,500 women who will give birth in the next few weeks. They have nowhere to go. They have no health facilities. There's nowhere safe in Gaza. And just to give you a little bit glimpse, women have started to write their names of their children on their arms at the moment in case that they are separated or that they're killed. The situation is so dire. And we really are pleading with everyone to lift the siege and protect the humanitarian health workers who need to get to provision and provide care, medical service, and critical humanitarian aid to those 2.2 million civilians in Gaza, including the pregnant women.
Israel says it is not targeting medical facilities, just Hamas sites. There has been a slow trickle of medical aid going in. Is that making any difference at all?
I beg to differ. WHO, the World Health Organization, has documented the direct target and hits on hospitals, the complete destruction of health facilities, and illegal and unlawful targeting of the facilities, including a direct military order to evacuate sites which they say will be hit. How can you justify in a very small piece of land like Gaza that has been completely besieged and forcibly migrating and forcibly displacing over half its population, where there is nowhere safe to go? It is one of the most populated areas on Earth. To target anywhere in that civilian population is to jeopardize its inhabitants.
Yeah, very difficult situation for so many thousands of people. I want to ask you about another story. Reports that Israel could withhold visas to UN officials after comments by the UN Secretary General yesterday, in which he said that the surprise attack by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. Are you hearing anything about the possible withholding of these visas?
All we ask is that under international humanitarian law, it is protected, and humanitarian workers and their unimpeded access to provide necessary humanitarian aid and services to the civilian population is something that we request. We hope that all parties to this dire conflict, that this inhumane siege on Gaza, will respect the laws of international humanitarian engagement.
Laila, I want to ask you about these reports from Israel. They repeatedly insist that Hamas uses civilian targets to launch their missiles from. They use innocent Palestinians, as hostages almost themselves. They put them in harm's way. What do you have to say in response to that? You know people on the ground there. You have people who operate there. What do they say when those claims are made?
I only represent the United Nations and the UN Population Fund in particular. Our concern and our partnerships have been in place in Gaza for 50 years. We have been working with many national organizations, all of whom want to provide vital services, including health services, to the most critical populations that have been under occupation, as our Secretary General noted yesterday, for 56 years. We want to continue to work with them to provide for people to live in dignity and without fear of death or forced migration, and to be able to access service. Imagine that you're a pregnant woman at this particular time. What should be the most joyous moment of bringing life into this world is now contaminated by fear of death, safety for herself, for her unborn child, for her family and her community at large. We really implore those of the international community who have a conscience to uphold international humanitarian law and protect those women and allow them to live in dignity and peace.
Laila Baker, thank you very much for joining us from Cairo. Thank you.
Thank you very much.